Civil Rights Paper by Ella. Now that I've learned more about segregation and equal rights, I look at Black History Month differently. I see Black History Month as freedom. It reminds me of how cruel people can be and that violence isn't the answer. There are many historic peacemakers, and I'll tell you about some of them. This is the law of the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment is a law that says all races have equal rights. Alabama didn't believe this was fair, and white people thought they were better than African American people, which they're not, and they didn't follow this law. In the book Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, the Logans, an African American family that lives in Alabama, doesn't have equal rights. Their school is a church, they have very poor books, and they don't have a bus, and the other school does. They pay the same taxes as the white people and get less than they deserve. Many Black people peacefully protest for equal rights. One thing they have to protest is voting rights. Only 2% of African Americans could vote. Martin Luther King's peaceful protest gave voting rights to Americans. King's I Have a Dream speech was a big deal and helped stop some segregation. Voting rights didn't come naturally. It took many protests and the Civil Rights Act. But wait! You don't know what the Civil Rights Act is? The Civil Rights Act is a big deal. It's a famous law given by President Johnson. The famous law gave voting rights. It made it illegal for Alabama to restrict voting rights. Before voting rights, there were many other protests, like Montgomery bus boycott, where Rosa Parks refused to get up from her seat. Two others are the Greensboro Four and the Freedom Riders. The Greensboro Four are 4 African American college students that sat down at a lunch counter and ordered something, but service was denied. The Freedom Riders were also college students. They went to different states to see how bad segregation was. I've told you what has happened, but I haven't told you who did it. Martin Luther King, Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, and Rosa Parks, the Greensboro Four, and Ruby Bridges are all peaceful protesters and helped stop segregation. None of them believe that violence was the answer. That's good because peaceful is the answer. If we use violence, how is it going to help? They'll all get arrested anyway. I've learned way more about segregation and civil rights than I've ever known. I've learned how cruel people can be, and I'm never going to use violence. Only peace. The things that I've told you can not only change your mind, but change the world. Thank you.